Have you ever noticed how some individuals struggle to engage others in conversation, often leaving them feeling overlooked and unimportant? This phenomenon can stem from a variety of factors, but surprisingly, it often has little to do with physical appearance or sheer luck. Instead, it frequently arises from a lack of awareness about effective communication techniques that can inadvertently lead to disengagement or boredom. Today, let's explore 7 strategies that, while seemingly innocuous, can actually undermine your ability to forge meaningful connections with those around you. Starting with number 7. Let's discuss the impact of ignoring body language. Body language plays a crucial role in communication, often conveying more than words ever could. Research suggests that as much as 70 to 93% of communication is non-verbal, which means the way we carry ourselves, our facial expressions, and our gestures can significantly influence how our messages are received. When you neglect this non-verbal aspect, by failing to maintain eye contact, for instance, or by not mirroring someone's gestures, you create an invisible barrier between yourself and the other person. Imagine being in a conversation where you're opening up about your thoughts, and the other person is constantly looking at their phone or glancing around the room. This kind of behavior can make you feel dismissed and unvalued, leading to a sense of disconnect. Ignoring body language not only inhibits genuine engagement, but can also send signals of disinterest, making it less likely for meaningful connections to form. This disconnect can manifest in various ways, such as a lack of enthusiasm in the conversation or an inability to read the other person's emotional state, which can further alienate both parties. For example, if someone shares a personal story and you fail to respond with appropriate nonverbal cues, like nodding or leaning in, you risk making them feel that their story lacks importance. Additionally, being aware of your own body language is equally important. Crossing your arms or avoiding eye contact can signal defensiveness or disinterest, further exacerbating the disconnect. Moving on to bias number 6. We find the habit of disregarding humor entirely. Humor serves as a powerful tool for connection, lightening the mood and fostering camaraderie. There's a reason why laughter is often described as the best medicine. It's a universal language that can bridge cultural divides and create bonds between people. However, if you adopt a serious demeanor and avoid laughter or playful banter, you may inadvertently create an atmosphere of tension that stifles connection. Picture this. The conversation has the potential to be lively and enjoyable, yet you maintain a stiff and formal tone, focusing solely on serious topics. Without humor, conversations can feel monotonous and dull, leading to lingering, awkward silences. Humor is often the glue that holds social interactions together. It creates shared experiences and memories that people cherish. By failing to embrace levity, you miss opportunities to bond and create enjoyable exchanges, leaving others feeling weighed down by the seriousness of the interaction. Consider how comedians often use humor to tackle heavy subjects. They provide a way for people to connect through laughter, making difficult topics more approachable. For instance, when discussing sensitive issues, a lighthearted approach can make the conversation feel less intimidating and more relatable. Next, let's dive into number 5, which highlights the tendency to stick to predictable compliments. While compliments can be effective in building rapport, relying on generic phrases like "you're nice" or "you look fine" can hinder your ability to connect meaningfully with others. When you resort to these tired lines, you risk making the other person feel unremarkable. For example, if you offer a compliment that lacks specificity or personal connection, it may come across as insincere or obligatory. People crave authenticity and depth in their interactions. By avoiding thoughtful and unique compliments, You diminish your chances of forming a deeper connection and leave others feeling as though they are just another face in the crowd. Instead, consider tailoring your compliments to the individual's unique qualities or achievements. This level of thoughtfulness can significantly enhance the connection and foster a sense of appreciation. A specific compliment like, "I really admire how you handled that situation in the meeting today," not only shows that you're paying attention, but also reinforces the other person's value and contributions. This mindfulness can create a ripple effect, encouraging them to engage more openly in future conversations. Moreover, compliments that acknowledge effort or skill, such as, "Your presentation was really engaging, I could tell you put a lot of work into it," can foster respect and admiration, making the individual feel truly valued. Then we have number 4, which centers on creating a rigid dynamic during conversations. Instead of fostering a balanced exchange, you might find yourself dominating the interaction, keeping the focus solely on your own experiences. This one-sided approach can create a power imbalance, leaving the other person feeling frustrated and disengaged. Imagine a situation where you're excitedly sharing your stories, but the other person is left with little opportunity to contribute to the dialogue. This dynamic can lead to feelings of exclusion, where the individual feels more like a passive listener than an active participant in the conversation, ultimately diminishing their interest in continuing the interaction. Encouraging a two-way conversation by asking open-ended questions or inviting the other person to share their thoughts can transform the dynamic, making the interaction feel more collaborative and enjoyable for both parties. For instance, instead of saying, "Let me tell you about my weekend," you might say, "What did you do over the weekend?" This simple shift invites the other person into the conversation and fosters a sense of shared experience, creating a more reciprocal interaction that can lead to deeper understanding and connection. Additionally, actively listening and validating the other person's experiences can create a stronger bond. Phrases like, "That sounds amazing," or "I can relate to that," encourage them to share even more, enhancing the overall quality of the conversation. Number 3. Emphasizes the importance of maintaining a serious and formal tone throughout discussions. While some topics may warrant a serious approach, adopting this demeanor in every conversation can stifle the potential for connection. Avoiding lightheartedness, playful teasing, or humor can create an environment where the other person feels they must tread carefully. For instance, if someone shares a funny anecdote and you respond with an overly serious critique, it can discourage them from being open and expressive in the future. Embracing a playful tone fosters a comfortable atmosphere, while a lack of it can create barriers that hinder authentic communication. By allowing yourself to be more relaxed and spontaneous, you invite the other person to do the same, paving the way for a more genuine and enjoyable exchange. Remember, the goal of conversation is not just to exchange information, but also to connect on a human level, and a light-hearted approach can make all the difference. Sharing a laugh or a light joke can create a bond that makes future conversations feel easier and more enjoyable. Moreover, humor can serve as a buffer during uncomfortable topics, allowing both parties to navigate the conversation with less tension. Next, let's consider number 2, which involves the practice of avoiding eye contact altogether. By deliberately looking away or focusing on your phone during conversations, you send a strong signal of disinterest. When you neglect to engage through eye contact, you miss the opportunity to convey warmth and attentiveness. Imagine trying to connect with someone who consistently avoids making eye contact. This behavior can leave you feeling dismissed and undervalued. When your gaze wanders, it can signal that you aren't invested in the conversation, leading to feelings of disconnection for both parties involved. Engaging in meaningful eye contact not only shows that you value the other person's perspective, but also helps to establish trust and intimacy in the conversation. It can also serve as a non-verbal cue that you are listening actively and are genuinely interested in what the other person has to say. Eye contact can enhance emotional connection. A simple gaze can convey empathy and understanding, making the other person feel seen and valued. Conversely, when eye contact is avoided, it can create a sense of insecurity or doubt about the interaction. Practicing this skill can transform conversations. Even brief moments of eye contact can make a significant difference in how connected and engaged both parties feel. Finally, we arrive at number 1. The habit of leaving conversations abruptly. When you encounter a moment of connection or laughter, abruptly ending the conversation without explanation can create confusion and disappointment. For example, if you're having an engaging discussion but suddenly say, "I have to go," without any transition, it can leave the other person feeling rejected or unimportant. Instead of fostering intrigue or anticipation for future conversations, this behavior can make them less inclined to engage with you again. Leaving interactions without closure can lead to lingering doubts and missed opportunities for deeper connections in the future. To combat this, consider wrapping up conversations with a positive note or a promise to continue the discussion later. This leaves the door open for future engagement and reinforces the idea that the other person is valued. A simple statement like, "I've really enjoyed this conversation, let's continue it soon," can work wonders in solidifying a connection and encouraging further interactions. This approach not only shows respect for the other person's time, but also signals your genuine interest in maintaining the relationship. Additionally, offering to follow up on a specific topic or suggesting a future meeting can help solidify the bond and create anticipation for the next interaction. In conclusion, these 7 strategies illuminate how a lack of awareness, humor, and engagement can hinder your ability to connect with others. When we focus on behaviors that create distance rather than closeness, we risk missing out on meaningful interactions and relationships. By being mindful of body language, incorporating humor, offering genuine compliments, fostering a balanced dynamic, maintaining eye contact, and providing closure in conversations, you can significantly enhance your ability to connect with those around you. Aim to cultivate genuine interactions that foster understanding and rapport, creating an environment where both you and others can thrive. If you found these insights valuable, I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments and like this video. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, keep striving for meaningful connections.